You only need 25 recipes to be a great cook, and crostata is definitely one of those. Great summer fruit, blueberries for example, raspberries, peaches, stone fruits. It's a way of quickly putting them in a casing of some kind, throwing in the oven, and then serving. It's all about the fruit. The crust is great, but it allows the fruit flavor to really come through. A galette is just a basic pie pastry dough. We call for a cup of flour. If you're just starting out and you're not that comfortable rolling out dough, you could use a cup and a quarter. We're going to use just a little bit of salt, half a teaspoon, tablespoon of sugar. Try not to get upset. Every bloody recipe for pie pastry, almost every one, says pea-sized pieces of butter. Someone came up with this idiotic notion 50 years ago and everyone's repeating it. The reason people call for that is an American pastry dough is supposed to be flakier. The problem is most people are not super adept at making pie dough, and leaving pieces of butter in there is going to create a lot of problems. You're much better off fully incorporating the fat into the flour than you are leaving big pieces of butter. So we cut in the first few tablespoons. We're going to add a total of 10 tablespoons, which is quite a lot of fat for a cup of flour. So let's just take this out. What you're going to see is color is slightly yellow. It's going to be a little sandy. It's not going to be floury and light. And you're not going to see any big pieces of butter. There'll be little tiny pieces. Some people add the water to the food processor bowl. I don't like doing it. You can overwork the dough. You can add too much water. I like to do this by hand to get a feel for it. It really is kind of important to get the right amount of water. If a recipe says use 3 to 4 tablespoons of water or 4 to 6 tablespoons of water, completely forget that. It's totally meaningless. It depends on the temperature in your kitchen. It depends on the age of the flour. It's useless. So you'd start here with a couple tablespoons just to get started. Another, excuse the expression, idiotic term that's used in these recipes is add just enough water until the dough holds together. The problem is people are so afraid of adding too much water, they end up with a dry pie dough. A dry pie dough is impossible to work with. You're going to roll it out, it's going to fall apart. Like, make sure you add enough water so it really does hold together. Take your time, add a tablespoon at a time. This is like dressing a salad. You really want to get the water dispersed throughout. It's pretty good. That's, I'm gonna add just a little bit more. Now, just a tiny bit. Okay. So now it's really coming together, right? So you should not see in the bowl any floury residue. It should all come together. And that's great. I'm gonna add just a little bit of flour to this, pat it into a nice round. So there you go. So now we'll wrap it in plastic wrap. So that's what it should look like. I strongly recommend you do this the night before. Let this sit in the fridge overnight. It's going to hydrate properly. It's going to be much easier to work with. It's good to take this out about 10 minutes before you're going to use it. If it's really cold, you can whack it a little bit. Okay, make sure you have a place with a lot of room, because you try to roll things out, you're hitting your food processor, you're hitting the counter or something else. You want a lot of room to work, a lot more than you think. And secondly, I often use a tapered rolling pin, but I don't like the big heavy bearing pins. I want to feel the dough a little bit. So a thinner pin, either like this or tapered, actually works great. So the technique is this. If you're right-handed, you keep your left hand here and you pivot the pin in a quarter, 90-degree arc like that. So you're going to go like that. Then you're going to turn it and do it again. You're going to turn it and do it again. So to speed it up, it's like that. I do this because I don't want to constantly roll over the center of the dough. It's going to overwork it. So I'm just going to work essentially a quarter of the dough at a time. The second thing that's really good about this is you're constantly moving the dough on the counter. You're not going to let it stick. If you just let it stick, you don't move it. After about 2 minutes, it's going to be hard to get up off the surface. And the last thing is, you're trying to create a circle, right? You're not creating a square. So by turning it and using the pin, instead of like this, you're essentially turning it in an arc. And arcs are good for circles, you know. So you can see that I'm ending up with a pretty even circle this way. Now, if you notice that the dough is starting to stick, you can just lift it up on your pin and then put it down on the other side. When you get to about 8 inches or so, then I'm going to start going from the center out, mixing it up a little bit. It's really important to make sure that the dough does not stick, because that's going to be a real problem. So we're going to try to get this to about 11 inches. And this is at the point where you can say, well, you know, this side's maybe a little short, or I want to extend it here. You can amend your dough by going out from the center. Once you get to about 11 inches, sprinkle a tablespoon of sugar on it. We're going to press the sugar in, and we're going to roll it out just a little bit more, so it's about 12 inches. The sugar side's going to go down. So when it bakes, it's going to give us a little bit of texture, a little crackly texture on the bottom, which is nice. What you don't want to do is put this in the oven when the dough is really super soft, because again, those juices are going to leak out. So we're going to put this in the fridge as we work on the fruit. I don't often measure the sugar for this because it depends on the sweetness of the fruit. A good rule of thumb is 2 cups or a pint of berries, like blueberries or raspberries or blackberries, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of sugar. So you just want to mix up the sugar and the zest, a little bit of salt. Peaches, I'm going to mix these in before the berries because the berries are more fragile. I'm going to do the berries with my hands. Now, the fun part. So you're going to want to leave 1.5 inches at least around the sides. And we're going to fold it over like this. A hot oven, 450 oven for at least 25 minutes. Obviously you want to see the fruit start to bubble. That's a good indication. And you want to make sure that the pastry is nicely browned. So put it on the bottom rack because you want to get the bottom of this thing crisp. So we've let this cool about 15 minutes. Slice it. Two things. The bottom crust, that little sugar at the bottom, it does give you a little bit of a crispy bottom crust, which is nice. The second thing is there's not that much sugar in this, so if you have really good fruit, especially in the summer, the fruit shines through. It's not a heavy, super sweet pie. And the other thing is, of course, it's ridiculously simple to make. So, you want to solve the problem of pies? Make a galette. If you want to serve the fresh flavors of summer fruit, make a galette. If you want a last minute dessert you can throw together and shove in the oven at 5 o'clock on a Saturday night, make a galette.